Okay. So he's a doctor, he's a father, he's a 10th degree black belt, he's voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame. He's also an author, an entrepreneur, a breakthrough speaker, and has spoken in 50 states and 28 countries, which is so amazing. So congratulations, Dr. Stan. We're so excited to hear from you. And yeah, take it away. So thank you.
Well, hey, well, thank you very much. It's a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure to be here with you and to have folks that are interested in personal development and mindset and growth. I mean, awesome, awesome, awesome. And so I just want to take the time that I have, again, very grateful to Nikki for setting this up. Got to meet her at a conference and it was a week and a half ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago, whatever. It wasn't too long. Yeah, in Atlanta. So my beautiful wife, Nadia, I call her my ABCD, and that stands for Adorable Brown Caramel Delight. We were there at that meeting and we had such a great time, met some great people. And Nikki was one of the greats that we met. And this is the power also of meeting people, going to conferences. By the way, one of my first mentors taught me this. His name was Charlie Tremendous Jones. He wrote a book called Life is Tremendous. Now he's gone now, but he made this statement. He said, you probably heard of it. He said, you'll be the same you are today, 5 years from now, except for the books you read are the people you meet. Has anybody ever heard that? Either raise your hand or put in the chat. I have. Have you ever heard that? Well, my first mentor, well, one of my first mentors, Charlie Tremendous Jones, said that. Well, now that he's in heaven, I kind of modified it a little bit and I say this, you'll be the same you are today next year, if not worse, except for the books you read, the people you meet, the seminars you attend, and the principles that you consistently apply. All righty. And so for Nikki to be there, and then again, the connections, thought that my message would be a blessing to y'all. And I know it will. And I enjoy, I just love empowering people because my life was so jacked up. I was like such a mess. And so I love being able to help and be part of people's transformation. And have you ever seen now some butterflies are, I mean, some caterpillars are kind of colorful, but have you ever seen like an ugly caterpillar, like slow moving ugly one? Anybody ever seen one of those? Anybody ever seen like an ugly one? Like not they got some beautiful ones, some pretty ones, some different color ones, but some of them are just like, has anybody ever seen one of those kind of caterpillars, kind of ugly? Put in the chat if you have, or give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, all right. Well, that was me. Right? That was me. And so the transformation that I went through, I love just sharing that with other people. So we're going to get into that and share that with you. And so I guess Nikki was trying to play I got this new intro video. Like my wife, I was so proud. She got this thing made up and it's not working right, huh? So that's okay. That's part of the thing. But I'm going to see if I can do it. How about that? Nikki, I must try it for myself.
You can do it. Let's
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I mean, she went through all that work, and so I'm gonna see if there's a way I can do it. If not, I promise you, the presentation will be so great you won't even worry about it didn't work if it didn't work. Okay. All right, let's see here.
Perfect.
So, do you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Now there's something different about this screen. Uh-oh. All righty. Okay, are you hearing it okay now? No?
No audio.
I was going to say, when you share your screen, you have to click the share audio as well. It's like a little tab on the bottom.
A tab on the bottom. Okay.
You have to unshare and then reshare, but before you click the screen you want to share, it'll have like a little checkbox in the bottom left. It took me forever to find it.
Man, wait. Okay, I think I just passed it again. Okay, I think I see what you're saying now. So you click share. Man, look, I'm learning something. Come on now. It says share sound. Share sound.
I got you. I
brother.
got you.
Man, you the brother like no other. You the master disaster, can't say it no faster. You too strong to be weak, too sweet to be sour. You can't take.
Okay, Les Brown. I see you. I see you, Les Brown.
No, that's Dr. Breakthrough right there. Come on down. All right. So let's see. Let's try it now. All righty, we did it. I feel like a little.
Trevor.
I feel like my son when I first taught him how to break a board. He said, "I did it, I did it." Right. So, all righty. So here's a board here. You can see on one side I have limiting beliefs. Okay, can everybody see that? Limiting beliefs, and this is what I live most of my life based on right here. Okay, but with this mastermind, with this group, what you're all about is breaking through so you can have limitless success. Matter of fact, let's have a raise of hands or in the chat, who would rather have limitless success than limiting beliefs, okay? So who says I want limiting beliefs? I didn't think so. Okay, who says I want limitless success? All right, yeah, I see, okay, hands are going up, thumbs. I see in the chat, there you go, that's me. All right, okay. And guess what I found out? On these limiting beliefs, right in the middle of the word beliefs is a 3-letter word. We're talking about mindset, right? Right in the middle of the word beliefs is a 3-letter word called a what? Lie. See that? So whenever there's lies that we believe in, guess what kind of life we're going to live? Very what? Very limiting. Hey, whenever there's lies we believe in, guess what kind of relationships we're going to build? Very what? Very limiting. Okay. Whenever there's lies we believe in, looks like my L is mixed up with my I. So let's make sure it's, there you go. Okay. So whenever there's lies you believe in, you're going to make limiting income. And when there's lies you believe in, you're going to build a limited team. I mean, your success is going to be limited. So what we have to do is break through the lies. By the way, I've never heard anybody teach on this. I'm sure maybe somewhere somebody did. I just never heard them. Okay, so I want to tell you this way. How many of you know if someone doesn't take a bath or shower every day, they'll get a little musty, right? So we know better about washing up the body, but what about washing the mind? Like, why not wash the mind every day? People talking about brainwash. No, we've been brain dirtied, and we have to wash our minds. And that's why personal development and growth and what you're doing, by the way, is so powerful, because we have to wash out the lies that we've been told. We got to get rid of all that limited stuff, that limiting stuff, and we need to go toward limitless success. Now, there's a knot in that board, so that means there's a little issue there. Knots are hard. And in life, you're going to run into some hard stuff. How many of you ran into some hard stuff in life? Yes, or yes, all right? How many thought after running into a couple hard things, it'd start getting easier after a while? And it's like, no, there's more hard stuff, right? So the thing is, my friend, we want to break through the limiting beliefs. This is what my job is by the time I'm done speaking, because again, the more I study, the more I find, guess what? The more I find that there's some of these that are hidden I didn't even know I was believing in. Now, it's one thing to believe in a lie. It's another thing when you're not even aware of it, right? And so the more I study, the more I learn, the more I get exposed to, the more I flush out these lies. The more I flush out these lies, I get rid of the limits, and now I can have limitless success. So if all of us are together and we're saying, you know what, by the end of this, we want to make sure we're done, no more lies. You know, if we find out the greatest book ever written, by the way, Jeremiah 7:8 says, you trust in lying words which cannot profit. I was like, wow, why would you trust in something that's a lie and if it can't profit? Because that's all you know. And so if you grew up like I did, hearing all these lies and believing that it was true, then you live all this limiting stuff. But once you get exposed to the truth, you can break through the lies and you can experience limitless success. So here we go. So let's break through these lies. Who's ready to break through those lies? Okay, raise your hands. Come on in the chat. Say, I'm ready. Come on, y'all. Give me some energy. I'm ready. There you go. So we're going to do this together, but we're just going to use my head. Okay, so who's ready to do this together? And you said, let's do this together. Let's just use your head, Doc. All right, are you ready? So let me hear, matter of fact, you might have to unmute for a moment. Unmute for just a minute. Let me hear y'all say breakthrough time. Come on now. Come on.
Breakthrough
Breakthrough
time.
Breakthrough time.
Breakthrough time. A little more energy than that. Come on, one more time.
Breakthrough time.
Break it, baby.
Breakthrough time. Breakthrough time.
We just broke the limits right off our beliefs. And when you break the limits off your beliefs, you can now have what kind of success? Limitless success. So come on, give us a hand. We broke this together. We just used my head. See, mama used to call me hard-headed, and I got older and got married, and my wife says, your mama was right. So I had to put my head into it. All righty. So real quick, I'm going to talk to you for a few moments here on a very powerful topic, very simplistic, but very powerful. And that is, you could probably see some trophies back there, right? I've got a whole bunch in the garage. I got a bunch down here. You know, I got a bunch over there. We got a bunch over there, a bunch over there, a bunch I gave away anyway. So I'm now, as she read, a 10th degree black belt grandmaster, but I didn't start off that way. My life started off as a mess, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about. So if you like to have a title, then my title is simple. Every master was once a mess. See, this is the mindset that a champion has to have. So every master was once a mess. Okay, so jot this down. Every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. Ooh, I like that. That was somebody else said that, so I can just say how good that was. Let me say it again. I said every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. So every master was once a mess. Let's clean it up a little bit, because maybe some of y'all might be a little highfalutin. So every master was once a mess, or at best mediocre. How's that, right? Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. All right? Well, make sure you get that down. That's going to be the crux of what I'm going to talk to you about. And I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. And by the time I'm done, it's going to be so ingrained into your mind and your spirit. You're going to be like, man, I got this. So let me give you the last part of it. So every master was at once a mess, or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. Now here's the real juicy part. Because once a mess or a mediocre person becomes a master, you now have a message that if you market properly to the masses, you can make millions. Oh, man, he just dropped that bad boy like it's holy. I said every master was at once a mess, or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. And whenever a mess or mediocre person becomes a master, you now have a message that if you market properly to the masses, you can make millions. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. And we're going to get that to be your story as well. So let's see here. On my here.
Presentation.
Say it again. I had it just a second ago.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. That one right there. Nope, that's not the one, but that was close. It was, oh, here we go. Bam. See, you don't have to be a technical guy. So, all righty. So this breakthrough personal training, again, right now I tell people, man, I'm greatly blessed, highly favored, and deeply loved. Matter of fact, I'm so blessed. There's a picture of me and my, like I said, my ABCD adorable brown caramel delight. And you can see when I'm speaking and she's backing me up, and, you know, we pray together, we vacation together. So we work hard and smart, or actually smarter, and we play even harder. Okay. And we had a great time today going for a walk and going out to eat and so forth. And but I didn't start off like that. I started off a hot mess, not a mess, a hot mess, right? I mean, my life was all these squiggly. I mean, listen, so messed up, you wouldn't even believe it. I mean, just crazy messed up. When I was a 6-year-old boy, I was out in the middle of the field playing, and a gang of teenagers came my way. I was so afraid, I froze in my tracks. Now, when you're 6 and a gang of teenagers are coming after you, it's like, why try to run? They're going to outrun me anyway. But they grabbed me. One guy hit me in the stomach. Bam, knocked the air out of me. I don't know if you ever had the air knocked out of you before, but you're trying to breathe. You can't breathe, right? And so here I am, a 6-year-old boy. I'm scared to death. I can't even cry out now because I can't breathe. And they start punching. Now I'm a 6-year-old boy. They're punching all over me. And one guy picks me up, slams me on the ground. They start stomping all over me, kicking all over me like I'm an ant or a roach. And I'm a 6-year-old boy. I'm crying out now for help. Mom, Dad. Dad wasn't around, but Mom, help, anybody, brother, cousin, anybody, neighbors, anybody, help. And nobody helped. And so again, I got beat to the point where I was bleeding from everywhere you can bleed. I'm a 6-year-old boy. My mind can't even comprehend why. I mean, one teenager could beat me up. Why would it be a whole gang of them? And then why are they kicking and punching and all this? And then, again, I'm bleeding from everywhere you can bleed. You think that was enough. One guy flipped me over. I'm laying on my back, face up. They took a great big old bucket of tar and they poured it on my face, poured it on my body. They took a bunch of feathers, they threw them on me and literally left me out in the middle of the field to die. I was a 6-year-old boy. Traumatic situation. But that was kind of like just par for the course of what was happening, because my dad left when I was 3, never came home, never sent mom a dime from that day on. You know, went through not just the physical abuse from these guys, but one of my mom's boyfriends beat me with a steel choker chain for a dog, a fiberglass bow and arrow set. You know, went through sexual abuse and obviously racial abuse. I mean, every kind of abuse you can imagine. You know, I like to say now, most all of us went through financial abuse, right? It's like, man, but I'm saying my life was a mess. So when you hear people talking about Dr. Stan Harris or Dr. Breakthrough, and you see pictures of me breaking stuff, I want you to understand that's not where I started. And I want you to understand, you right now could be like I was. My life was a hot mess. Maybe your finances might be in a hot mess. Your business might be in a hot mess. Your relationships might be in a hot mess. Your spiritual, whatever it is, it might be in a hot mess. I got news for you though. And again, every master was once a mess. So you're in good company, my friend. We all started off. The ones you look to and the people you respect, the people you admire, they were all like my life's a mess. And if you don't believe it, when I was little, they used to call me Stank. Now my real name's Stan, but they call me Stank now. And I asked one of my relatives, I'm in my 60s now, and they still call me Stank. I was like, I don't even stink anymore. Why y'all call me Stank? Oh my goodness. But all of us started off as being babies, thinking about that, and had to learn everything. So again, don't let your mind, I'm working on, I got something where I'm gonna teach people how to become, you ever heard of MMA? Most people think that means mixed martial arts. Well, I'm gonna teach people MMA, mental martial arts, how to defend yourself against your greatest opponent, which is your undisciplined or subconscious mind. And most people, the mind is the greatest enemy. There's a great African proverb I'll talk to you about, but it says something like this: if there's no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. But most of us, our own mind is our own downfall. Our own mind is our greatest enemy. And most of us are being jumped by our own thoughts and our own mind, my friend. And like I was a 6-year-old boy being beat up, my friend, and tarred and feathered. That's what's happening to most people in their thought life. And I'm here to tell you, my friend, you can overcome that. So you can see my journey here. I started as a little kid. I was a mess. Matter of fact, when I first started martial arts, I tripped over my own feet. They had a nickname for me. They called me Mr. Baboon. I mean, they made fun of me. And but you can see after years of working out, 4 years later, I'm a brown belt, and you can see I'm kicking pretty high. And then, many years later, I'm laying on the bed of nails with a guy breaking the bricks off my stomach, and you can see me breaking bricks on fire. And then 43 years later, finally voted into the Black Belt Hall of Fame. See, here's the thing you don't understand. Success is a journey, not a destination. And sometimes the journey is a whole lot longer than we expected. So I'm telling you, you got to have the right mindset or else you'll never endure. So every master was once a mess. Albert Einstein, he wasn't able to speak until he was around 4 years old. And his teacher said he would never amount to much. He was a mess, and now he's a master. So guess what? Every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master. It was Michael Jordan who, after being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. The great Michael Jordan. But back then, he was a mess. So it's okay if you're a mess, or your business is a mess, or your life is a mess, your mind. It's okay, my friend. You don't got to stay a mess, because everybody started off as a mess. You can one day become a master. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. Can you imagine that? They said, and having no original ideas. He was a mess back then, but guess what? He died a master. Steve Jobs, at 30 years of age, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. But by the time he died, his company was the most financially stable company in the whole entire world. See, there was a time when he was a mess, now master. Oprah Winfrey, she was demoted from her job and as a news anchor, and because she wasn't fit, they said, for television. So she was a mess back then. But guess what, my friend? Guess what? Now she's a master and now owns her own network. The Beatles, rejected by Decca Recording Studios, and they said, we don't like their sound. They have no future in show business. So they looked at him and thought they was a mess. And the Beatles became one of the greatest groups ever, my friend. So here's what I'm trying, and this is what you have to understand, my friend, and you have to get your mind to comprehend this. Every master, every person you look up to, every person you admire, every person that your mind tries to tell you, I can never be like them. Listen, that's a lie, my friend. Every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess can one day be a master.